The updated list of college football stars skipping bowl games this year. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. How Bitcoin fixes this. Brandon Gentili here. Guys, this is really fascinating when you think about how our world has gone into straight dollar mode. Almighty dollar, right? For the love of money is the root of all evil. Not money itself, the love of money, right? We've talked about this extensively over time here. And the love of money is what gets lost in that Bible verse. The love, think about that, the love of money. What person does or doesn't do with money, that is the problem. Not money itself. Money is just a tool, just like a hammer, just like a car, just like a firearm, just whatever. They can be used for good things, they can be used for bad things. It's an inanimate object. But what someone does with it. So, we just got done. I'll listen to some sports talk radio here in Metro Detroit once in a while, just to kind of change it up and see what's going on in the local news and sports scene. And we had one of the prominent hosts, Michael Valenti, who is doing national stuff now with Boomer Esiason and things like that. It's a big voice, he's a big personality, and he generally kind of uses first principles a lot of times to give his sports takes, and does a fairly good job with it. And obviously, because he has a big following, and so people respect what he says, right? And one of the things that he's been railing on for a long time is, and many people that call in, obviously, is the money, the college kids not getting paid, and stuff like that, and being a former college athlete. I don't care either way. I think kids should be getting paid. The schools, it's egregious what the schools are doing. The massive endowments, billions of dollars. The tuition is going through the roof. It really is crazy when you think about the cash that's pouring in. Not only, and then that doesn't even account for the football or the basketball teams bringing in this cash, and then the athletes, really don't see any of that. I mean, and again, people that say like, "Oh, you're getting your education paid for," well, great. What is education even there for? And why do most students go to these institutions a lot of times? And what do people actually follow the institution for later on? Well, it's sports at the end of the day. It's not because, man, I really had an awesome professor in engineering. That's not why. So what attracts you to something? But anyway, that's a different story for a different day. Not here to fight about that. How does Bitcoin fix this, though? So all these people are skipping their bowl games. Because one, football is a very physical sport, which, again, we have to recognize, a very physical, very injury-prone sport. However, you have, when life starts running away from you in an inflationary, fiat, legacy monetary system like we have now, backed by nothing, then it becomes more and more incentivized to just chase dollars. The love of money. Trying to just chase dollars, you lose your morals, you lose your integrity, you lose your loyalty, you lose that character because of the dollar. It's all about the dollar, right? I'm going to sell my body. I'm going to create an OnlyFans. I'm on Instagram, but now I'm on OnlyFans. Well, I'm playing college football, but I'm going to screw my team over and be a bad teammate. And I'm going to go because it's all about the dollar. It's all about this and that, right? So it's a little bit of a paradox, being able to hold two opposing opinions in your head at the same time. I do think college athletes should be paid because of the sacrifice they put in and the amount of effort and the notoriety and the cash they bring into schools. I mean, it's just egregious, right? The fact that they're not paid in the NCAA, just, again, different story for a different day. However, again, how does Bitcoin fix this? In a fiat legacy broken monetary system, again, you're incentivized to keep doing worse and worse things, quite honestly. More Frederick Bastiat's the law, right? When legal plunder becomes the game, when plunder becomes the game, you are then incentivizing people more and more and more every single day. People just to say, I give up. I'm just going to scam the system. I'm just going to sit on my butt and rake in cash from the government. When people realize they can vote themselves a living instead of having to work for a living, you now are lowering the standard of society and increasing the cost to society. The opposite way. That's socialism, communism, right? With the opposite way we want to go. We want to go capitalism, or maybe some new form of capitalism, which, again, Alex Hormozy talks about the AI and what AI will do. Things like Chat GPT and these things that are coming out that will possibly destroy capitalism and have usher in a new, that type 1 civilization, a type of thought, right? Going to that next level of human civilization. Again, another tangent to go down a different day. But Bitcoin fixes these things because when you have a sound money, a deflationary money that is constantly decreasing in supply over time and increasing in value, now people, all of a sudden, you're aligning incentives. And instead of trying to work or go to school just to maybe make some money someday, or go to the NFL and screw your teammates over, or whatever it is, to just go for the dollar, that starts to melt away. Because when you have the little money you do have that you're saving becomes constantly more valuable over time. Or your parents, for instance, a very controversial topic, parents living vicariously through their kids, thinking that's their only way out. I'm going to go put my kids in this or do that because it's my only way out. But when you can save more than you spend, or earn more than you spend, and save that difference in Bitcoin, a deflationary asset that's constantly going up in time, the dollar or money or currency starts becoming less of your life, right? You start doing more of what God wants, more of what's in here, and less about the dollar, less selling your soul, less losing your integrity, less losing your way, less losing your passion, less losing all these bad things in life, and you start doing what's needed and what God's calling you to do, the little voice inside you, because it's not about the dollar anymore. It's not about the money. It's not about the currency, right? You're off the hamster wheel eventually, and you are doing what you're called to do. So you're not playing sports and putting your body at risk just because. You might be doing it, but you're doing it for the love of the game, right? We have people that are truly there for the love of the game. The politics of sports start to melt away. Not always going to be gone. The business of sports going to be largely gone, right? A lot of the sport, and the thing I really couldn't stand about hockey, I loved hockey my entire life for 20 years. And I was so passionate, a student of the game, studying it all the time. It's all I did, way more than school. And that's what made me a great player and enabled me to play in college and have a scholarship and play in the pros. It's because of my love of the game. But when business was involved in that, I could not stand hockey. It made me resent the game that I loved because it was about the dollar. It was about politics in the day. It was about the dollar. It was about the love of money. And that, to me, is such a travesty because you have people out there that aren't doing the things they love to do, or that aren't doing things they're called to do because of the business or aspect of it, or the love of money, or whatever it might be. So now, instead of coaches, and this trickles all the way down through society, so think about this, when you really start going down this rabbit hole, if coaches are, instead of being incentivized to think just for the dollar, I'm going to try to get myself somewhere, I'm trying to go play coach in college, or I'm trying to coach in the NHL or NFL or whatever, and they keep doing things to just win. We're just going to do this to win. And they're sitting kids on the bench and they're playing other kids just to win over and over again. They're doing this as little kids and as teenagers, and people are just wasting their time. It's like, why is my kid just sitting on the bench? Instead of that being the only way out and thinking that I need to do this for the dollar and my power and notoriety, you instead, because money is no longer an issue, the standard of society has grown so much and cost has gone so little. Every person in every walk of life eventually has such a minimal cost to your daily life that, again, you no longer need to do things other than for the love of what you're doing or your calling. So now you can spend time, a coach can truly spend time on each individual player. Each player can have their chances. And you're going to still have teams, you're going to have people that are going to, we want to win, you're going to do stuff. You're still going to have that. But overall, the vast majority of life will start to heal because money is no longer the dominating force of why people are doing things. It's a calling or it's a passion. That's the reason why someone's doing whatever they're doing. Rock climbing, the NFL, music, the NHL, playing hockey, whatever it is. And coaches are able to just focus on player development, on growth, on leadership, on integrity, morals, whatever it is, learning and teaching the next generation for the passion and love of the game instead of, oh, I'm here just to win. Oh, we're here to win. We're sitting that guy, we're sitting half a team because of this and that. That largely goes away. Again, not absolute. We're still going to have some of those things here and there. There'll be certain leagues for that or whatever it is, right? But that cream rises to the crop, and that will start to play itself out naturally and start to heal itself in the correct, natural way. So let me know what comments you have about this. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what thoughts you have about this. This is, again, something I've been thinking about a little bit, but it really, again, just is dawning on me recently, again, of how Bitcoin is another thing. Bitcoin begins to heal, and it really struck a chord with me as Mike Valenti was talking about players dropping out of bowl games and the amount of people that are dropping out because it's all about the dollar, right? And at what point is it just like, come on, guys, like you have no respect, you have no integrity, no loyalty to your teammates, nothing at all? Like, what are we doing at the end of the day, right? So this is why this is so important. And once you take the money aspect out of the life and people worrying about that, 10, 20, 50, 100 years from now, and they can have a money that just continually grows in value and life keeps getting cheaper for them, then you start having people playing for the love of the game because money doesn't matter. They already have enough money. So why are we doing what we're doing? Would half the people leave NCAA football? Would half the people leave college football because they no longer were making trillions and trillions of dollars from it? If they already had enough money to live and they were completely financially free, would they be doing what they're doing? Would that be the case for people working Any other normal job? Well, of course. You'd have a lot of people leave and go then start doing what they're called to do, making the world a better place, being more charitable, discovering new inventions, discovering new medical breakthroughs. This is the world we're going into in a hyper Bitcoinized world. So please let me know your comments, what your thoughts are on this. I think this is one of the most fascinating things and such such a good example and a great analogy for what we're living through. And it's a very recognizable example because everyone has seen this and kind of grows up with this, right? And so this is why I think this is so important to be talked about in these analogies for real life and Bitcoin real life use cases of how Bitcoin starts healing this. So instead of having garbage football to watch like this, when you came in and watch all the bowl games, instead of trying to like make all these fancy new rules, again, you just fix the money. Fix the money, and you start fixing college football. Fix the money, you start fixing sports. Fix the money, you start fixing the workforce, and on and on and on. So I appreciate your time and energy. It's the most important asset we have besides Bitcoin. The only two finite assets that I know of. Again, if you know of any others, please put them in here. So the only fair trade is Bitcoin and time. Time is Bitcoin. And this is not financial advice. This is freedom advice. I appreciate you. Please like and subscribe. Please share with someone you think might appreciate this. And we'll see you on the next one.